Welcome back, YouTubers. I'm Eric with Emery Hill Farm. Back to the part, this will be the part 2 of the loader frame project, mount the Mahindra loader on my zetor 9540. So I went through and I cut them mounts off in the last video, got them cleaned up, got the mounts bolted up into whereabouts I want them, but I still got to go in 3/4 of an inch on each side. In order to do this, I either have to straighten out the bends in that mount, use that front part of the mount. I want to kind of keep that factory look, or I could cut it off and build a plate. So I have my location of the mount front and back where I want it, but this has to go in. I gotta close this up about 3/4 of an inch. So in order to do that, my thoughts are either try bending that part back and then bend that one forward and try to get my 3/4 of an inch that way. But in order to do that, I think I'm gonna have to apply some heat. I just don't have a press big enough, so I'm gonna have to get a little ingenuity into that. I did get the rear mount all cleaned up. That came out actually pretty well. Let me get a light here. This rear part should be pretty simple. I can grab enough bolts there, and on the bottom of the transmission there's a plate I can bolt here, so I should be able to make my cross mount bracket relatively easy. The drive shaft is going to be a little bit of a problem once I pull that in 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to have to probably do some trimming. It's relatively close because this tractor's got an offset drive shaft. It does not go down through the center of the tractor. I wish it did. It'd be a little bit easier. I'm gonna pull these mounts off, and my thought process was this table's 3/4 inch plate steel. It's really heavy. So I'm thinking about putting that mount on top of it and welding it down the table and then bend it upwards. I'll take the chain falls, pull it one way, get it close to where I gotta be, and the same thing with the other part. I'll flip it, weld it back to the table, heat it, pull it, bend it, and see if I can get it relatively close. If not, I'm just gonna hack that plate off probably and build it out. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna call it a success. We got it moved in. I mean, that's pretty good. I did my cross measurement. I'm 39 1/8. So I'm gonna call that pretty successful. You know, and I'll gain a little bit more when that bracket pulls in when I weld the other one on. Everything's just sitting there for now. I think it came out pretty good. I gotta do some trimming. That drive shaft is. Now I'll make my rear mounts. Alright, so I got my rear mounts all marked out. I'm gonna mag drill them out, get the rear mounts set up, plated. I can kind of hold the loader mounts in place when I make the rear lower mount. I got this bracket installed. Got it tacked up for now. Same with the other side. Then we got to build out past the drive shaft. Everything stayed nice and plumb. And the other side stayed nice and plumb. It's all tacked in. I got it all V'd out. I'm gonna add another plate across to here after. Yeah, so I think my next step is work on the bottom cross transmission mount. Get that all done so I can trim everything off for around the drive shaft. And at the very end, I'll add on to this plate. Go from there. Probably end up fish plating that just to make it a little stronger. But as you can see, kind of just scribed it out. That's going to have to be trimmed off to clear the drive shaft. But I kind of want to get my bottom transmission mount on there so I know how high, so it kind of looks uniform.